All right, here we have Transformers Prime Voyager Bulkhead, and this is the, as you can probably see by the giant, massive, way too big and ugly mech tech weapon. This is the RID version of Bulkhead. Now, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Here's the weapon. It is his wrecking ball with a whole bunch of other junk and the light up LED gimmick. Now, the battering ram here is actually plugs in separately. I don't plug it in there. And I like the action on the weapon. I like how it spins. That looks cool. But it looks absolutely stupid on Bulkhead himself. You plug it in up here, and it sits like that. And there you have it. And that just looks dumb. So, typically, I pull that off, and I set it to the side, not to worry with it ever again. So we're going to put that off to the side, and I'll show it back off again when I get him into robot mode, but we're done with that for now. Now, the battering ram, this I actually kind of like, and this will plug right up here on the roof as well, and I think that looks kind of cool. That I don't mind at all, really. But here he is in his vehicle mode. He is his SUV armored truck, whatever you want to call him, from the Transformers Prime cartoon. Looks pretty good. I like the green. It's a good shade of green. A couple shades of green, and here's a darker shade up here on the windows. Instead of having the translucent windows, they're painted green. I guess would have been nice, but that's cool too. Wheels down here. He rolls fairly well for the most part. He's got his rear tail lights back here. And some nice molded detail in the back of the truck. But yeah, there's Bulkhead in his vehicle mode. Very nice. Nice black bumper. And I don't have the first edition version to compare the vehicle to, so I won't do that. But I will say that I do like the vehicle mode for the RID. Let's go ahead and pull this off. Transformation is actually pretty simple, and I actually really like the transformation quite a bit. It's quite fun to do, if you ask me. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to these panels on the side, and we're going to flip them up on each side, just like so. And I like to come down here and go ahead and extend the arms down to get them out of the way. Come over here. And we're going to flip the bumper up, which will unpeg the feet on each side. So we're going to come over here, pull the feet down. So we're going to extend them down. And then here we're going to pull the waist forward to here. And then we can straighten the legs down. And then we're going to actually rotate the legs. And we're going to flip this toe forward and flip these toes down, and those will actually peg into place. You'll hear it pop. Over here, flip this toe forward, flip these toes down, and you'll hear those lock into place. Come up here to the front of the car, lift this up a little bit, and this is actually going to come down and tab into place, and then we're going to lift this up over the bumper like so. There you have his feet done and most of his torso. We're going to come around here and we're going to lift these up a little bit more. And I actually like go ahead and pulling these out. Actually, we're going to pull these forward. Let's do this first. And just kind of bring them around and set them on his chest for now, out of the way. And I like to go ahead and pull these out. I kind of rotate them this way so they're out of the way, and then we can come back here, and his arms are pegged together right there, and we'll just split those and then we'll swing them around, and we'll swing it around just like so, and then we'll rotate and straighten the arm out, pull his fist down, rotate here. I'm sorry, leave that, that was right. and then rotate here at the lower part of the arm so that he's got his elbow. Same thing over here. Rotate down. And then rotate here and swing the fist down. Now, these are going to be his shoulder pads. And you're just going to rotate them around and open them up, and they just kind of sit over his shoulders like that. Now these, I'm not too crazy about, personally. They look okay, but when you go to move his arms and all, they kind of get in the way. You have to constantly reposition them. They're okay, they're not the best. Come back here, flip his, whoops, you guys couldn't see that. Let's pull the camera up a little bit. Flip his head up, just like so. Then we're going to come back here and we're going to take his backpack, flip it down, and that will actually peg into place as well. And then here you have RID. See, this is what I don't like about his shoulder pads. They don't like to stay. RID Voyager Bulkhead in robot mode. Now, you can position these kind of however you really like to. You can bring them up a little bit, like so. You can leave them down. You can pull them back some if you want to, like that. However you really want to do it. The instructions kind of show them laying flat, like to the front, like so. So that's how I'm going to leave them for now, for the video. Pull his head up some. But yeah, there you go. There's Bulkhead in robot mode. And as you can see, if you compare him to the first edition, he obviously looks a lot less show accurate. However, if you do not have a first edition Bulkhead, and I do not, this guy, in my opinion, is a decent fill-in for your Bulkhead for your Transformers Prime collection. He's not bad. If you ask me, he's a fun toy. You know, he's not show accurate in terms of how he looks in robot mode, but he's fun to transform. He's fun to play with the exception of these shoulder pads up here. I really dislike these shoulder pads just because you have to constantly move them when you move the arms. When I rotate that, the shoulder pad comes up, and that's really annoying to me. But otherwise, I like him. He's got a very nice head sculpt, and his mouth will move if you can get in there to do it, but it can be kind of tricky and tough because there's not a whole lot of room in there if you got big fingers. Articulation, his head will move up and down a little bit and rotate. Shoulders will go 360, but you got to move that up out of the way in order to get it around, and even then they sort of get in the way like that, in and out, and then you position this back down. You got a couple of, you got a swivel here, you got a rotation here, you got a rotation down here as well. You can go in and out at the wrist for transformation. Nothing at the waist. Rotate at the upper part of the legs and in and out and back and forth. Bend at the knees. And I guess you could get a little kind of movement out of the toes, but you'd have to unpeg them to do that. So I'm not sure that he'd be real stable afterwards. Now, bringing his weapon back in. Here's his mech tech again. This also looks really stupid in this mode. It pegs in right here on his arm and hangs off like that and just looks dumb. So again, I'll leave that off to the side. I again like the battering ram. That can peg in right here on his arm, and I think that looks pretty cool, hanging off right there. Now, for size comparison, here he is with Voyager RID Optimus. So, not bad. Pretty good scale right there. And then here he is with the deluxe ratchet. So, looking pretty good if you ask me. So yeah, get these guys out of here. Really, final thoughts. If you don't have a first edition Bulkhead and you're not willing to spend the 80, 90, $100 that he's going for right now on them, like I'm not willing to, This guy will work for your Prime line, especially with the rest of the RID figures. If you have a first edition Bulkhead, there's really no reason to get this guy unless you are a completionist and just have to have every Transformers toy that comes out. But yeah, there he is. Transformers Prime Voyager Robots in Disguise Bulkhead.